What is going on, everybody? This is Gabriel Jones giving you a drop of sun any chance I get. Today, we have a very big one. We are going to be reacting to the new album from the Weeknd, Dawn FM. I don't even know what to say about the Weeknd at this point. The guy is shaping up to be one of the biggest music stars of the decade, and we're only in 2022. His smash hit Blinding Lights has now been declared by Billboard as the biggest song of all time, and it's only like 2 years old. He's become so powerful in music that he turned our entire country against an award show after they totally snubbed him last year. And this is only in regards to his more recent work. I can go over the entire history of his career, but that would just take me all day. It's probably best for me to focus on his current project, which is the subject for today's video. And of course, it had tons of eyebrows raised because the cover art is just him looking depressed as an old man. And already you had people telling the M. Night Shyamalan jokes on Twitter about how you visited the island, which makes you age. I don't want to waste too much time, so I want to get into the album listening very quickly. But of course, I do want to give a shout out to Jess and Zena of Trans Girl Therapist, who are currently supporting me on Patreon. You guys can do that yourself. The link is going to be on screen. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And now, let's get into Dawn FM. Track number 1, Dawn FM. Oh, we're starting right off with the title track. Let's see what we got. Very sci-fi-ish. I love his sort of robotic vocals, like the way he plays with his voice.
We'll be there to hold your hand and guide you through this painless transition.
Are you sure it's gonna be painless? Little infomercial, little tagline at the end. Okay, so that was our little opening interlude to Dawn FM. This is pretty interesting. See, I knew by adding in the little FM at the end, I knew there was going to be some sort of radio theme persistent in this record. And he really is leaning into that. It's very obvious with the first track. Jim Carrey with his little radio announcer voice is pretty funny. I didn't expect him to sort of play that role in the album, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, it really is a nice little way to frame the whole record. It's almost like it's this radio station that's sort of meant to soothe you, but it might take you on a really dark and twisted journey. I believe that's what's going on here, but I'm curious to see what else this album has in store. Track number 2, Gasoline. Kind of like how it escalated and then de-escalated at the beginning. Ooh, I'm digging this percussion right here. Gets you in the groove. It kind of has this low register British accent. It's 5 a.m. on time again. Lose my faith! Like that yelling towards the end. Are we doing drugs here? Because it ain't safe. Bro. I mean, this is not how you want to be cremated. Trust me. Zero sum of tenderness, so no tenderness at all. Kind of like these little vocals towards the end. Okay. Gasoline. Wow, that one had a little bit of a groove to it. It's 5 a.m. my time again. That's just stuck in my brain now. But yeah, I love the tempo. I love the way they play with the percussion. He plays with his vocals pretty nicely. It's kind of really creative. And I am very, very impressed by the way he just structures this whole album as if it's like this throwback techno sort of production, which honestly I think fits him so well. Holy crap, I can't believe he didn't try this earlier. Based on what I can see from the lyrical content, the song is about Weeknd having this very sort of toxic relationship with a girl, and how he doesn't want to let her go, and he doesn't want her to let him go, and he wants them to keep holding on to each other, and if their relationship falls apart, then they want it to fall apart very beautifully and, go out with a bang, so-called, something that might require gasoline even. and that just ties in with his drug problems, which are also sort of weighing on him, and that might even be a huge factor in the relationship sort of becoming a little hard to manage. Overall, it's a cool little song that has this very, dark and twisted tone to it, and it's probably gonna reoccur a lot more in the album, but this is easily a great song. Track number 3, How Do I Make You Love Me? Sort of rhymes. Sort of like digging up old memories and sort of like trying to confront them. I want you, baby. You're what's right in front of me. Ooh! Ooh! This little breakdown right here, right before the chorus. It's vibing with me. You know, I can really sense the heartbreak that comes through in his singing. He almost sounds very just somber. It's a really good way to vocalize. I'm kind of taking a few beats and just having these little notes come in at random. I love this beat right here. It's just very chill. It's kind of like a heartbeat. Okay, so that was track number 3, How Do I Make You Love Me? That one was pretty interesting. I don't think I have much to say when it comes to the production. It sort of copies a little bit of what we've seen already, even though it's only been like 2 tracks. From what I can see from the lyrics, it's about Weeknd trying to win this girl over desperately. It's in the title of the song after all, but you can see just how much he yearns for her, and the way he just delivers the lyrics is just so, like, just so needy. But yeah, I don't think I have too much to say about that one, so we can just keep moving forward. Track number 4, Taking My Breath. This one I already did a TikTok reaction to back in the summer, but it appears that there's an extended version on the album, so let's take a listen to that. Love that key composition right there. Just gets you into the spirit. Ooh, this is a little bit new right here. Do 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 do. There it is again. Ooh! Ooh, the way they just mix it right there. Wow! And then it just cuts out and we get into the first verse. Wow! Ooh! Yes! Love how it just drops right there after he says the title. This is the type of song you drive down the road fast to at night. You know, but drive responsibly, of course. Ooh, this is a little different. This is another little change they added into the mix. I just love how intense that beat is right there. It's just so dark. These vocals right here, really great, adding up to the climax, the climactic feeling. Okay, so that was Take My Breath, the extended version, and sounds just as great as before. I don't need to go into too much to the song meaning because I already discussed that in my video, but it's great, it's so groovy, it gets you into a really great mood, and it's just so much fun to dance to. With the extended version, I did like some of the creative choices that they make, with like them sort of like remixing a little bit of the beat, and Weeknd adding in some different vocals that we didn't hear before. That was really clever. It'll be kind of interesting to see if this becomes more popular than the original. We'll have to see about that. Track number 5, Sacrifice. Ooh, this is kind of like a little funky bass they got here. Sounds very like, very hard-hearted, if you call it. Sounds like a relationship that ain't too stable. Ooh! Ooh, right there! That sound right there! Just ooh! Ooh! Oh my god, the way it just cuts out. Like, he's just like singing closely to the mic. Yeah, that right there, Weeknd is embracing his inner Michael Jackson. Okay, so Sacrifice. That one, very groovy. Holy crap. And it had like a really cool, like slick sort of like 70s production to it, like with the bass line and everything, and the way they just sort of like, you know, snap the percussion and everything. Like, that one is easily a throwback jam, like more throwback jammy than anything. When it comes to the lyrical content, it appears that he's sort of singing about this girl that he had a connection with, a romantic connection with, maybe even a sexual connection with, and how he didn't want to like sort of leave her, but that's just sort of like in his nature, or like at least that's what he's saying. And honestly, it just feels like he can't really stay tied down. He just needs to like go into the night and see like all the different sort of like women that he can sort of woo and sort of like spend time with. So, okay, so my mistake, it was an 80s throwback, not a 70s. So we're still in the 80s. So, corrected myself there. Track number 6, A Tale by Quincy. Okay. Sort of like how slow and calming this is.
I just did the best thing I could with them because they know fucking well I love them.
Yeah, I'm sure they love you back.
Kid watching my mother get put in a straitjacket and taken out of my home when I was only 7 years old.
That's gotta
She
be
was
rough.
diagnosed with. I later had an evil stepmother who further cemented the idea that I didn't need
The evil stepmother trope.
growing up without
It's
mom.
everywhere. Okay, so that was A Tale by Quincy, and that seems to be sort of like an interview that he gave to either The Weeknd or some interviewer, and it's just him reflecting on his life and all the struggles he had to go through and how they sort of like affected how he operates as an adult. It's really interesting to see how one of the most legendary producers to ever exist sort of like grew up and what he had to go through in order to get to where he is. And we also get into it, and we also get a little glimpse into his personal life and how his psyche works, which I think is very rare for someone that iconic. I especially love that last line, looking back as a bitch, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, when you reflect on all the obstacles you went through in life, it sort of really makes you realize just how hard you had it. But, you know, hopefully you're in a better place now. Track number 7, Out of Time. This is a lot slower. Taking it really slow right now. Sort of like a slow dance jam. I mean, I'm sure you've experienced a lot of it. Ooh! Ooh! That little calming vocal right there. Love it. You let her go and she moved on. Ain't that some shit? I love how he puts emphasis on the part out of time to really like sell just how devastating it is that he couldn't like really show his love when he needed to. You can really hear the desperation shine through. You see, like right there, he's sort of like emphasizing the words right there. It's just playing in his head over and over again because he's just so guilty.
Tracks on 103.5 Dawn FM.
Okay, he creeps the fuck out of me. So that was Out of Time, and that one is definitely one of the sadder tracks on the album. It really shows. He's just singing about how he should have been there for this girl, but he wasn't, and he sort of like closed up a little bit, and now she's seeing another guy, and he's just begging her to be like, and he's just begging her, saying, "Oh God, please leave him for me if you feel like it. Please. And you can probably tell that she really isn't like accepting the offer. But yeah, I just love the desperation that just comes through, and it's just so amazing. And I really do enjoy how it sort of ties in with the Tale of Quincy monologue, where he's talking about all the choices he made in his life, how he would always like shun women whenever they got too close, and then he would like never see them again. It sort of like ties into Weeknd's situation, and that is very key, I believe. So I sort of like how he like sort of makes the connection there. Track number 8, Here We Go Again, featuring Tyler, the Creator. Ooh, very somber. Are you still trapped in that flashing lights maze? Oh, I guess that's what the couple pics were of. I like that use of the word faceless. It's like he doesn't even look interesting. Oh my god. It's like you're levitating. I want to go beyond forever. Ooh, the emphasis of the word prenup on that last sentence was great. Ooh, the chimes. Alright, so Here We Go Again was great. Oh my god, that one almost had me in tears, man. Like, holy crap. Like, the way, like, it has, like, a very glossy sort of production to it, and it's very, like, heartbreaking in its nature. Like, both Abel and Tyler just sound like so melancholy when they deliver those lyrics. And it gets to you, you know? And from what I'm seeing with the lyrics, it's sort of them talking about how love can have this much darker side to it, and sometimes things don't go the way you expect them to at times. And that is, of course, a great message to show. And honestly, I really did enjoy that one. Hurt my elbow a little bit. I'm gonna cry from the song and from hurting my elbow. Track number 9, Best Friends. Damn, what's this like pokey little intense beat you got going on here, Abel? Interesting relationship to describe as secure. Oh, the little snare drum that comes creeping right in. Woo! The harmonizing vocals right there. Backing vocals. Yo, the way they just crescendoed right there. Okay, so that was Best Friends, and that one had a little bit of a pokey beat to it, and had a nice synth. I sort of like how the notes sort of crescendo at certain moments, especially towards the outro. And it appears that he's sort of singing to this friend that he's sort of been, you know, getting intimate with, sort of like friends with benefits, and how they need to make sure that they don't get too close to each other, and, you know, make sure that it's just, you know, all good fun, nothing too, like, serious. Which is, I think, is a good, you know, subject for a song. I don't think I'm too interested in this one, personally, but it is really nicely constructed, so there's that. Track number 10, Is There Someone Else? High-pitched chipmunk vocals to start us off here. Oh, I like that line. If you're hurting him or you're hurting me, because it's sort of like, no matter who you love more, someone is gonna get devastated. I want to make sure that I'm a changed man, you know? You just gotta love how they play with the synth on this track. Adds to the somberness. I gotta look up if this is a sample, because this sounds like something that would be a sample. Ooh, playing with the keyboard right there. Okay, so that was Is There Someone Else? And I kind of dig that song. I sort of like its slow tempo, the way it sort of just, you know, really takes its time a little bit. So I like that a lot. And I kind of like the lyrical content that's going on here. It appears that Weeknd is sort of catching his girl cheating on him with another guy, but that's mainly because he has had some bad habits in the past that he's trying to get over, and that might have actually led to her being unfaithful. And now he wants to know if she's going to choose him or this other guy, because he wants to know if he is good enough or if he has become good enough for his girl. And I think that's really great. I think that's very brilliant of him. And once again, you can really hear just how sad he is. He just sounds so depressed, but good stuff right there. Track number 11, Starry Eyes. You were the girl of my dreams. I envisioned you long before you met. You know, you were what I considered to be a perfect partner. You can hear those sort of radio sounds in the background. You can hear the desperation in his delivery and his lyricism. Just tell me how much of a jerk I am, because I know it. Okay, so that was Starry Eyes. That one is pretty straightforward. It's him singing about how he wishes for everything to go back to the way it was, and how he wants to change himself and really make it right for this girl, but it may be too late for him. So it's kind of a nice little follow-up to Is There Someone Else, where it's like him singing about how he wants to like win this girl back, even though she's now seeing another guy behind his back. So it's a nice little song right there. Again, pretty straightforward, but I do like it. It's a nice little welcome addition to the album. Track number 12, Every Angel Is Terrifying. This sounds like a deathly sort of heaven. What the heck is this? Nice little voiceover right here. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, this little composition right here. I like this. Oh my god, this is structured like a commercial, like you hear on the radio. Don't you mean After Hours? Okay, so Every Angel is Terrifying, and that is a track that really kind of sits with you, and you need to like take a pause for. So I guess my best interpretation of this song, my own interpretation, is how he doesn't feel like he's gonna make it to heaven, or he's not the heaven type, and how he almost sees himself as a sinful kind of man. But yeah, I think this is sort of like a track that needs to like sort of mellow with me, because there is just so much going on here. It definitely ties into the radio theme. I might have to come back to it and like really like sink my teeth into it, but yeah, I really think this is very creative. Track number 13, Don't Break My Heart. Ooh, this is kind of a beat that you can throw down with right here. Oh, you don't want to say that, buddy. This kind of sounds like a lo-fi disco sort of track. See, it sounds less like him demanding and more like him begging. It's sort of like, please don't break my heart. This is an interesting little voiceover, or like the really deep voice. I have to see who did that. Okay, so Don't Break My Heart. That one is really, really cool. It has like a very sort of downbeat atmosphere to it, and it's really groovy, but you know, it's sort of like very dark and very sort of uncomfortable in a way. It's sort of like eerie. And he's sort of like mesmerized by this woman, and he wants to do everything he can to impress her and like really win her over and be like, oh, please, please, please take me. I promise I'll treat you right. I don't think I have too much to say about this one. It really is sort of like a little nice groovy tune, but I don't know, it doesn't really click with me too much. But let's move on. Track number 14, I Heard You're Married, featuring Lil Wayne. Yeah, he's really getting his 80s on with this one. Baby, you've just been controlling me with your attractiveness. Man! I just hear your voice at night. It just calls to me. Wait, is she dating Weeknd as she's married? It seems like Weeknd is now the guy that the woman is sleeping with while she's in a committed relationship. It's kind of flip-flops, like from Is There Someone Else? Like the ring! Wrapped around your finger like the ring! I can be your hybrid. That's a nice little lyric right there. I can make you run back, like the opposite direction. And then we can drive off like freaking Mariah Carey and we belong together. I love that. He's like, woo! So much tragedy. Alright, so that was I Heard You're Married, and that one is really interesting. It's about Weeknd sort of being really agitated that he's sleeping with this girl who seems to have a husband, and now he's like, fuck, I gotta share this woman, don't I? It kind of makes him feel really sad inside because it almost feels as if the relationship isn't genuine, and he really wants it to be genuine, at least very intimate. And now he's sort of like testing this girl to see if she like really cares about him. Lil Wayne dropped some really good verses. I think he was really nice with the sort of like very quick and steady rhymes. The way the music is constructed is so very wistful and somber, like somber is the word of the day. And it really does make you feel like you're slow dancing to a really sad song. So I think whoever worked on the production there did a great job. Honestly, I can see this becoming the next big single from the album. Like, Take My Breath, like, sort of had its run, and I Heard You're Married should be the next one they push, so hopefully they do that. Track number 15, Less Than Zero. Ooh! The acoustic guitar blended with the little beat. I like that. Wear your heart like a symbol, like it's the symbol that represents my heroism. I sort of like how it sort of like escalates right there, sort of like goes up. Oh, now it's on another octave. Oh, I love the composition right here, the melody. The melody here is really nice. All right, Less Than Zero, and oh my god, that song. That's a really sad fucking song right there. He's talking about how he wanted to protect this girl from some of his darkest secrets, almost as if it was like an act of heroism, but he sort of failed in that regard. And now with her really like getting to know him, it feels like they can't really carry on with this relationship. And he is just left there wallowing in the sadness. It's an interesting decision to have the acoustic guitar sort of carry the entire song, which doesn't really happen often with a Weeknd track. Usually he relies a lot more on trap beats or synths or like really intense beats, but like this was just like a very laid back sort of like soft rock tune. I'm even tempted to compare it to Circles by Post Malone, which I don't know if is an accurate comparison, but I can see a little bit of similarities. So yeah, I think this might be the next single they push. So I would say go with this one, then I Heard You're Married. So now we have our closing track. Let's see how we end the entire album. Track number 16, Phantom Regret by Jim. We got some very relaxing keys.
Now that all future plans have been postponed, and it's time to look back on the things you thought you owned.
Oh wow, deep right there.
Out of time, there's nothing but space. No hunting, no gathering, no nations, no race. And heaven
When you have no other life goals, what else do you do?
Heaven's for those who let go of regret. You have to wait here when you're not all there yet.
Heaven's for those who let go of regret. That's a great line right there.
May peace be with you.
And you end on a very religious sort of line. Okay, Phantom Regret by Jim. And a lot of deep lines in that one. Something to definitely sit with you once you're finished with the record. One thing I will say for sure is that Jim Carrey as a radio show host is both the most mystifying and terrifying thing I've ever heard in my life. So, props to you, Jim. You did a great job. But yeah, with all the themes that we've dealt with on this album and like with all of like the anguish and despair that Weeknd has been projecting, like that's just something that really makes you reflect on everything you've been through. And I think that's just what I'm about to do as I take a break and listen to the album a second time. I'll be sure to give you my final thoughts very soon, so stay with me. Okay, I am back and I'm ready to give you my final thoughts on the Weeknd's Dawn FM. So is it just me, or is this album like really fucking sad? Like Abel has recorded some sad songs before, many sad songs before, but there's something about the tone of Dawn FM that feels different. Abel sings about the trauma he's faced in his life, the bad habits he developed in adulthood, and all the connections he's failed to make with women. You can really tell that he goes through the ringer in this record. He finds himself being cheated on and being used to cheat. One woman leaves him for another guy, and another woman is too good for him to even start a relationship with. It's just all so draining. And it took me a while, but I think I understand what the whole radio theme is meant to represent. It's what the Weeknd listens to as he's on the road himself after another romance has gone south. It's what helps him deal with all the sadness that's stewing inside of him. In fact, it might even be the first thing he listens to before he dies. You hear him sing about ODing on gasoline and ending it all on Don't Break My Heart, and you get this really uncomfortable feeling that he's not doing very well. Even the cover art sort of makes you think that things are not right with him. Of course, the production does a great job at conveying all of this. You have all these 80s retro jams give off a somber feeling and the sense of heartbreak. And while they can make you dance in your seat at moments, it really does feel absolutely devastating at other moments. I really think this is some of the best material Abel has ever put out, and I'm really eager to see what he's gonna do in this new era. And please, for the love of God, have someone check up on you, because Lord knows we need people in the world like you. I give Dawn FM a 9 out of 10. My favorite tracks on the album would have to be Less Than Zero, Out of Time, Is There Someone Else, Here We Go Again, and Take My Breath. My least favorites would have to be How Do I Make You Love Me and Best Friends. And I think that just about does it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this incredible album listen. I really enjoyed this one. Almost got teary-eyed at moments, but it was great nonetheless. If you want to follow me on social media, be sure to check out my Twitter, my Twitch, and my TikTok. The links are going to be in the description. And be sure to check me out on Patreon as well. You can give me some great support in return for some great rewards. But I think we're going to wrap up right there. My name is Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you were able to soak up those drops. Take care.